Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and this has been a very interesting day for me. I haven't been feeling quite myself, but in this case it's not a mental health problem. It's I ate something and it had me up all night feeling terrible and my intestines bad. So I basically, I obviously called out sick, and I spent much of the day sleeping, but hey, I'm feeling well enough to record a video, and I also want to talk about a few potential, not necessarily changes, but things that I want to do going forward on the channel, some things that I've been thinking about. First things first, let's go ahead and hit up the old RNG to figure out which soundtrack we're going to be using. We've got numbers 1 through 3 queued up, so let's go. 33% chance that you'll get a soundtrack that you like. Here we go. We're going with piano arrangements. I know that seemed a little quick. Here we go. Alright, I'm all good with piano arrangements, honestly. Alright, as far as the run itself, what do I want to do with that? Yeah, I've always been a fan of the Venture Row because it's high risk but high reward, and I can get next to that. So let's just go ahead and put together one of my usual staples. And actually, probably not even that, because I'm looking over things going, gee, what do I want to build today? Because one of the things that I found myself really liking is basically the Aqua Vortex kind of melee combo build, otherwise known as the Ultra Combo. And I have a great amount of appreciation for that particular build, honestly. Let's see. Oh, I'm just not sure what I want to do. That gives me a lot of fire. Then again, that might not necessarily be the worst thing in the world, so this will just be the fireball build. Oh, and what's my starting relic? Merchant's cards? I wonder if there's something else I would rather use. Honestly, considering what I have here, I think what I'm going to do is make an attempt at the poem of Fiery Rhyme, because why not? I don't oftentimes do builds where I'm trying to go for that, but hey, what the hell. Alright, so let's also make a bid to start at the Chilling Dungeons, so that we can just get the enemy that's going to be most resistant to my spells out of the way. There we go. Alright, this will work out nicely. Freya, Atlas, and Shu. Alright. So what sorts of things am I talking about when I say thinking about new stuff to do? Well, as you know, I've been... I guess I wouldn't call it a video series, but I've been running videos of new games that I've been looking at. And just recently, I uploaded a video on a game called Dead Estate. Before that, it was Critadel. And what I'm basically doing is kind of testing the waters a little bit, seeing if there's anything that you guys would actually kind of like that I pursue on a more regular basis. Oh, come on, go away already. Thank you. Do I have enough to beat Taffy now? Well, I would if I, you know, hit him. God damn it. Alright, what do I get as a freebie? I'm actually pretty okay with Furious Tempest, at least for right now. Alright, that worked out nicely. Oh, well. I'm surprised she's actually wanting to be helpful right now. I guess it's been a few days since I booted up the game, so she's trying to make up for lost time. And you know what, Iris? I appreciate the gesture, but we might still have to go to couples counseling. Yeah, I suck. Hello, sir. What do you have in store for me? Oh, we've got a lovely little defensive buff. There's no way I'm turning down the mirror shield. So, in an attempt to... Presence. You've got good presence here. Alright, so we're gonna take that, we're gonna take that, we're gonna take that, we're gonna take that. Now, I forget what you do, though I'm not sure I necessarily want it. Tell you what, for the hell of it, why not? So what does... Oh, that's for the dependable cake, not for the VIP membership. Alright, what do you do? Regenerate health when it's low, but your health is reduced. Alright, so here's hoping I can find the dependable cake. That was a mistake. I thought it was something else. Now, that having been said, I've never used this item, so consider this like a fun experiment. I may very well lose this run because of it, but eh. I am all good with a fun challenge. So in the vein of trying to find something new, that's where Dead Estate came from. That's where my first look at Critadel came from. And those are both games that, yeah, I would have played on my own anyway, but I wanted to show them off for you guys to see if there's anything that you thought would be worth revisiting for another time, potentially. Oh, thank you, up button. That's perfect. Damn it. There we go. Looking good. Looking good. Sorry, I was concentrating on not screwing that room up royally. But if there are any other games that you guys want to recommend to me as kind of along the similar veins of something familiar but different, then by all means, let me know. Like I said, Critadel and Dead Estate were just two recent examples, but I would be lying if I said that there was no interest in those games outside of just trying them out for the channel. I actually quite enjoy both games, and very much enjoy putting them up on display. What I want to know about those games is would you like to see them appear more regularly on the channel, or is that something that you're not interested in? By all means, let me know either by way of social media or just, the usual YouTube comment works just fine. I do read and try to at least respond in some way to all of your comments, although I'm thinking that when those numbers start to go up, somewhere down the road, it'll be harder to respond to every comment, I guess. But we don't need to talk about that right away. Now, as far as other games that I know that there's some interest in, I know I've heard at least from a couple of you that he wants to see me get back to One Step from Eden, which I know they just had an update that's changed the default appearance of some of the characters, and by some of I mean all of. Well, I definitely want that. Hey, a freebie! And you know how I feel about a quester cap, even if it does make my speed a little uncomfortable. Now, I could use some DPS improvements. I could also use the other half of that dependable cake, but Alright, so let's take this over to our buddy Nocturne and see what he's willing to offer me for it. Honestly, none of these are really lighting my world on fire, but here's what I'm going to take. And I shouldn't say that, I do like Dragon Surge. Okay, could really use some DPS improvements, but otherwise not a bad run so far. Oh yeah, I remember that. No, I don't want it. Yep, we're good. Now granted, there are a few too many roguelite games out there to just, make a full-on series out of all of them, and I'm certainly not saying that I'm going to stop playing Wizard of Legends. That is what many of you subscribed to my channel for in the first place. Yay, that was beautiful. But with all of the different options out there and all of the different things that I'm sure you guys are interested in, I'd love to hear more. So some of the other games that I've been thinking about, with Synthetic 2 out in early access, I've been thinking about going back to Synthetic 1, and I've never played it for the channel, but it is an interesting game, and even I do enjoy the gameplay, even if I'm not the greatest at it. When it comes right down to it, I'm not the biggest fan of shooters, but I think that's mostly because of the glut of brown-gray military shooters that essentially infested the landscape for so long. And let's be fair, they're still around. There's still Call of Duty, there's still Battlefield, there's still... well, I guess Medal of Honor isn't really a thing anymore, but... and for what it's worth, I know that there's a good amount of difference between Call of Duty and Battlefield, but they still represent the same kind of like bro FPS kind of mentality. And yes, I know Call of Duty more so. You don't have to remind me, it's just not really my thing. And like I said, for a long time, those types of games just dominated the popular landscape when it came to gaming in general, so... yeah, definitely not my thing, and hopefully a decent explanation as to why I never jumped aboard the synthetic train. But I have liked what I've played so far. Though I find it a little odd that reloading is kind of its own gameplay system in the game. Because if that's one thing that I know all gamers love when it comes to video games in general, it's having to worry about your reloads. But if you've been paying attention to what I've said, then you understand that it's not exactly a deal breaker, so... oh, I love exploding. I love fiery cannonade, or erupting cannonade. Like, that's one of the new spells that was added to the game that I just have a great amount of affinity for. And I don't entirely know why, especially since it's been pointed out that it behaves very similarly to Ignition Drive. But I don't know, I find it to be... that was smart. I find it to be just different enough that I can get down with it. See, I've already played Undermine quite a bit for the channel, and as much as I love that game, I kind of gave it a bit of a break because I'm getting into the very difficult kind of summoning stone levels of that game, and it's probably not going to be too fun to just watch me die over and over again while I'm, relearning the way that game works. Hey, dependable cake. Alright, this is my first time having dependable cake. How does it work? Huh. Well, I have my health back. I don't have anything that evades. Still haven't seen the stanza of flame. Alright, well, let's see what Dr. Song has. I have that token for her. It's a lot of health and healthcare card. And everything is super cheap. I love it. But now I need DPS improvements, so please game DPS improvements. You son of a bitch. Alright, the one downside to this is that the limited edition robe is no longer as useful. That having been said, I think I'm okay with this. give you that. So now, when I get to Shu, I can replace the Furious Tempest with the Erupting Cannonade. There we go, it's all coming together. Alright, now what I really need is DPS improvements. Making me wish I had stuck with that Merchant's card. And also, considering the crazy amount of news that there is going on in the gaming world, I'm thinking about starting to do more content pieces like that. And for that, I think I have the game that I want to use as just the backing for videos like that. As I recently picked up a little gem called Tetris Effect Connected, which I'm sure many of you already know what that is. Tetris Effect is a very popular version of Tetris that for a while was PlayStation exclusive, but now it's just out on Steam for people to play in the new Connected re-release, which I don't know what it adds to the table, but I mean, I'm not exactly against it. I've been enjoying my time with the game. Owie. But that brings me up to my next question, and that is, which piece of news are you guys really interested in hearing about, if any? Because I know what's going on with Activision Blizzard is just kind of big news everywhere. But there's also the shoddy launch of Grand Theft Auto Trilogy, which I don't even know how they managed to mess that up. They're PlayStation 2 era games. Even on the Switch, they should run just fine, but no, somehow Rockstar managed to fuck that up, like, really bad. I know that there are people out there who are apologists for Rockstar because of how much they love Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption, but come on, y'all, you can't keep giving a free pass to a company that does shit like that. And all of you saying that you should be playing Grand Theft Auto 6 by now, I'm aware that games take a while to make, and I would say, you know, have a little patience, but this is also very suspect considering how much time they're spending, you know, updating Grand Theft Auto Online, and essentially just going like, yeah, the hell with this other thing, we don't even know what this is. Here we go. So it kind of feels like Take-Two and Rockstar are doing exactly what I figured they would start doing when Grand Theft Auto Online started making money, and they're just kind of foregoing everything else. Single-player content, the release of Grand Theft Auto 6, they can all be sacrificed on the altar of GTA Online cash cow. Like, I was calling Grand Theft Auto Online out for what it was when it first released. And, you know, here's the second act twist. I'm aware... Oh, hello, Stanza of Flames. Well, I mean, let's be fair, I would almost rather have the Mimic, but the Stanza of Flames is exactly what I came into this run looking for, so we're taking it. Alright, we're marking this one down as a success. Kaboom. Ooh, second fairy. We've got fairies. And my George, are they pretty. Boing! Oh, I did hit. I didn't think I would. Thanks, but no thanks. Oh, and another game that I've been looking into showing off for you guys is Metal Unit. It's sort of a, to explain what that is, it's sort of like a 2D, like a 2D kind of roguelike combat game where your main character is essentially a lady in mecha armor. Like, I had started playing that a while ago, put it down, not for any real reason, but just because there's a lot of games out there and it's, never enough time to play them all. But now I'm looking back on it going, I love that game, and I kind of want to show you guys that one as well, so on top of Critadel and... So on top of Critadel and... Hold on, I just remembered something. Sorry, I'm so easily distracted. Maybe. But yes, on top of Critadel and Dead Estate, there's now also Metal Unit that I want to show off for you guys. But whereas I'm just getting started with Dead Estate and Critadel, Metal Unit I've been playing for a bit. Haven't beaten it, but I have been playing that game for a bit, and I can actually give you guys a little bit more information about that one as I'm playing it. I'll grab that one. Thank you. This combination of spells makes me feel so powerful. Ha! Thought you were gonna evade through and get to me? You silly, silly knight, you have no idea. And what do you have for me? Alright, I have less confidence that I'll be able to get the Magician's Wand. But if I take this will once again make limited edition robe shine, so what the hell. Ooh, as a freebie even. I already have Erupting Cannonade. I bought that from you on the last shop. Iris, I think you need to see a doctor. You might be developing early onset senility, or early onset Alzheimer's for those of you who are, intellectually honest. Okay. Okay, you all can just go to hell now. Well, that's what I get for succumbing to my hubris. By all rights, I should go for the hat. And yeah, I think it will. Just in case. Sweet. To end that nightmare before it gets any worse. Oh, and for those of you who are wondering where Skull the Hero Slayer went, don't worry, I still have that game. I'm one of the things that's been bugging me about that game, not necessarily in its design, but just I don't know, it's a much more difficult game than I thought it was going to be, which isn't a bad thing, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that's a negative prospect. What I'm saying is that I haven't beaten it yet, in part because of how difficult it is. I've put a lot of time into Skull. So I get the feeling that there's just little nuances about that game that I have yet to really reconcile with. Because like I said, I'm not about avoiding difficult games. And as evidenced by how much more I like Devil May Cry after Devil May Cry 3. I would say sometimes difficulty in the game actually makes it more enjoyable. Oops, I made a goof. Yeah, baby. Also, yes, I do still have kind of not a sinus infection, that's going a little far, but a bit of a runny nose. Now, I've momentarily thought about doing a sort of long play, like Secret of Mana, perhaps, but that's one of those things that I only really want to do, one, if you guys are interested, like, in a playthrough of a very long game like that, and two, if I can get a second player. And when I say Secret of Mana, I mean the original SNES release. I know that there are a number of you that probably have no problem with the newer release, and I say there is nothing wrong with that. I'm definitely all for trying it out, but in this case I'm referencing the old Super Nintendo release. And I would be playing that on the Mana Collection on my Switch. Alright, so since this is the last floor where that can even apply, I might as well just boost my critical hit rate. Alright, now we need to find the exit. Yes, that was overkill, and I enjoyed it. Whoa, hey! What was that all about? No. Very nice. Ooh, more fairy action. Alright. Here we go. We have a Sylph Squad going on, baby. Now, as many of you know and have seen from the idea that I had played a good number of Metroidvanias on the channel, I am also a fan of that genre. And yes, I am still going to be doing a playthrough of Metroid Dread. I'm not sure if it's going to be 100% at this point, but I am doing Metroid Dread still, so don't worry about that. Ow, 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 ow. As far as what's taking so long for me to get back to Metroid Dread, I mean, really, it's just I've been playing that game for about a month straight. I'm just taking a short break from it before I get back to recording episodes of it. Alright, can't really do much with that, but thank you. Alright, so now let's switch it up. Alright, excellently done. I don't think there's anything here that I want. No, we're just going to move forward. Just wanted one more look, just to make sure. Good lord, that was fast. Oh, ladies, missed. It's okay. We got him. I have to admit, that felt like a damn fine run. So, with that out of the way, let me know what games you guys are interested in seeing me play. Remember, I have a vested interest in both Roguelite and Metroidvania games, which, yes, that would make Dead Cells a shoo-in, especially with the new update that came out that brought in a lot of indie game legends, Hyper Light Drifter, Hollow Knight, Curse of the Dead Gods. Oh, that's another one I could do. Even though I'm not at all good at Curse of the Dead Gods, I have that too. I don't know. I'm surprised, on the other hand, that they didn't try to bring in anything from Hades. Like, come on, that was a Game of the Year contender, and honestly, I think it should have won, but you don't always get what you want. But so I've thrown a lot of ideas in the air. I might actually put up a poll about it, because between Metroidvanias and Roguelites, there's a lot to go around, and I am plenty happy to play any games that you guys show interest in. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I may very well be putting up a couple of polls asking about both Metroidvania and Roguelites, and we'll see where it goes from there. So anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. I appreciate your continued support. Drop me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe. I'm going to be putting up some new tiers of stuff on Patreon pretty soon, so just be looking forward to some changes pretty soon on the channel. I'm definitely wanting to move things up to the next level. But at this point I'm rambling, so I'm going to let you guys go. Again, thank you for spending your free time with me, and I will see you in the next one. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and I will be seeing you.